Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of me answering your guys' questions. To preface, some questions I couldn't answer because they were either confidential or I just didn't know the answer, but I tried my best to find the answer to every question and be able to answer it to the best of my abilities. Alright, let's just get started. Going next to bracket, what is the hardest thing about being a moderator in Yeeps? Depends on what time period you're talking about, at least for me. At the very beginning, when I first got game mode in God's Gravity, the hardest thing was learning things. Back then, the moderation system was not very developed. Really hard to learn things. Things weren't consistent. Um, and it was really hard for me to learn how I'm supposed to act. Nowadays, the biggest challenge for me, at least, is being able to try to feel like I'm doing everything I need to do. I don't like doing tickets that much, so I try to compensate by doing other things. But the hardest thing is to be able to feel like I'm doing enough stuff for that, and also feel like I'm being fair enough and being able to be where I'm supposed to act. Next question: what is the hardest thing I've accomplished in years? Probably good question. I guess I'll have to say just founding Moon Team and getting it to a place where it could be where it is right now. Even though it's still going a little bit slow right now, getting Moon Team to the place where it is right now and being able to, because coming from January to March, I was not active at all. I played only when I needed to get stuff for example, to get stuff like that. Other than that, I didn't really play that much. So being able to become active just out of nowhere, and then found a team where I need to get a bunch of really good people who are probably well known. That was really difficult. And besides that, just getting to here where I am in terms of mod, that was just something, and I feel like I just got more lucky than actually deserved that. Out of your entire time moderating, do you prefer moderating for Gods of Gravity or Yeeps, and why? Ooh, oh boy. So, the differences between where I am and where Gods of Gravity is throughout Gods of Gravity's history, I was only ever a regular game mod, nothing else. And so my job wasn't as much as what I enjoyed. But also the thing with Gods of Gravity is the game was a lot less intense. So everybody knew everybody, very tight-knit community. It was very fun to I made a lot of friends and be able to have fun there. Meanwhile, Yeeps there's 100,000 people on the Discord server. There's been so many people, and everything had so much more of a formal status, which isn't bad. It's just Gods of Gravity felt more natural, and I wish I had been me. I wish I could relive those days with me being me back then, because Gods of Gravity, for me at least, was just funner, you know? I still love the game, I still love the developers, it's just... Maybe I'm nostalgia, but it's just... The game nowadays is a lot more busy, a lot more intense, it's a lot harder to find that feeling, and then Gods of Gravity gave me just that community. So, in short, I think I have to say moderating Gods of Gravity. Huge Water Waster says, what has been your favorite part about the history of Gods of Gravity or Yeeps? There's certain updates you enjoyed or whenever you meet new friends. So, the very first thing, or my very first answer that I think of is, the most important part for me when I started playing was when I first got game mode. That was a very big surprise to me. I should not have gotten it. I never would have gotten it by today's standards. I wasn't active enough. I wasn't sure enough. I just got game mode and got to Gravity. This was way before Yeeps, by the way. And that allowed me to... I had a lot of fun with that. But in terms of updates, I really loved the soccer updates in Gods of Gravity. I really loved that one. And I really loved the Tyrant Pirates versus Bugs update in Gods of Gravity, because that factions in Gods of Gravity was really cool. And so I got the opportunity to be able to be the honorary lead of the Tyrant Pirates, and that's how I got the pyro hat on my profile picture, if you're wondering. In Yeeps, I'll say the Alpha was really cool. Alpha was sick. But besides Alpha, the output, like the snowy update where you got the grapplers, was really cool. And most recently, like music update was really cool for the moon disc. So I really love that. Cut to Anonymous. Why did I create Meep's Moon Team? I created it because I had this idea of I wanted to come back to the game. I wanted to do a project, and I had this idea to create a building team where its goal is not to make maps quickly, it's to make the best maps possible, and also just to be able to like show the best quality of in the game. I think we've kind of succeeded so far, but I think we still need to achieve more to reach that vision. And yeah, I'm really glad I did, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be active, I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff I'm doing right now. And then JB's following that question says, what are your goals? My main goal is to finish, like my personal goal is to finish the parkour map. For those who don't know, the moon disc was made for a specific map, and I really want to finish that map. Other than that, I just want to be able to get to a point where people know the moon team. I wanted to get to the point where the community world's popular, people have fun playing our maps. I want to get to the point where you make something really, really cool, with like wiring and stuff. And I want to get to the point where it's a community-driven event more than anything, and I can step away from the moon team and have it still run, have people still enjoy it. Mr. God 3846 asks, during your time in the GOG community, when is your opinion was the game at its peak? September 2023. That is when the game was so active and people were having so much fun with it. It was before the God Creator beta, and it was before Yeep started taking so much time from the devs, and it's personally where I was really active. I feel like after that point, the game started to fall off a little bit as the devs, especially Jack, started to pull away from God Gravity and work on Yeep's, like, making it. And so it was just Nathan making God Creator. I love that time. It was such a fun time to be around despite all the mistakes I made, and that's when I felt like the community in all different ways, but at its peak. Quote to Helixio, the video you put in Sneak Peeks about the Star Creators, does that mean you and the other stars will be in the Star program? No, that is a community project. Well, it's a project for the community, hosted by me. Hopefully you guys will see stuff coming out of that soon. It'll be really fun. Fireboy asks, what was your main inspiration for Moon Team, and what is your favorite maps you made? My main inspiration was in Geometry Ass, there's two different building teams. There's one called Cherry Team and one called AP Team. And they're teams of builders who makes levels consistently as collabs. That was my main inspiration for that idea. And my favorite maps that we've done. Finished, I'll have to say... it's hard to say between Tap Tap and Prop Mall, because it was really good. But unfinished, I have to say the Alien map, because the Alien map is going to be, if it gets popular, it's going to be the most hype maps in the community. Cut to Laser the G, what are you majoring in, and what is your career? I'm not in college. I'm still, what I see myself going in is I play the violin, so maybe that, and I'm doing some stuff with programming and like Python and stuff, so maybe that. I'm not sure though. It's still a decision I have to be made. But those are the two options I'm seeing right now. No Idea asks, how successful do you think Moon Team will be in the future? A couple months ago I had feared that it would just drop down dead and die. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. But I'm quite concerned that I don't know if I can get to the level I want it to, because with Moon Team, I feel like, how to say this, I feel like if I wanted to get to the level I have to do, I'm gonna have to grind this summer. I'm gonna have to make sure the maps get out, the collabs with Star Creators get done, all those sorts of things. So it'll be quite hard. How do I think it'll end up? I think it'll end up middle in the road, unless we really hit a success point. Anonymous asks, how did you find Trash, and how did your efforts How did you find Trash, and how did your efforts lead up to today? So I found Trash originally just by, I got my VR for my birthday when I turned 13, and I just downloaded this game because it looked cool. I played it a couple times, the campaign was really fun, but then I quit because I just didn't like VR that much. Then my friend came over to my house, there's no more smiles, that is mod. He tried my VR, and that convinced him to save up some money and buy his own. He also happened to download Gods of Gravity, he told me about it, and we played it. We played a bit more, I got my other friend to play with us. I watched some videos by RPG Penguin to get better, I joined the Discord, continue, I applied for mod for the heck of it, I got it, continued to Yeeps. Actually a couple days before Yeeps I got senior mod. Yeeps came out, I got Discord mod, continue, game mod, monitoring council, role distributor, senior Discord, like all the things, they just came. And Yeeps with every mod rule, it just sort of, I just got it as it came, just because I was in the right place at the right time, rather than I actually deserved it. So, whether I actually deserve where I am today is up to you. Definitely a position I'm very fortunate to be in. Anonymous asks, what do you expect Moonteam to be like in the future? Like I said, there's two ways I think it can go. It can go in the path where it's going right now, where it declines and it just slowly puts out things, and it turns into more of a group chat, like a group with friends where they build occasionally. Or it can keep growing, depending how I do it. Yeah. Or it can keep growing and it can keep getting more popular until it's like a community-driven event. Like the team, it's an event, its maps are an event. I think it'll end up being middle of the road because that's just how things typically go in life. But Coblin says, when did Trash Games switch from PC games to VR? So Trash Games started out making a bunch of games for like a web. They had a website and they made a bunch of fun games. Jack and Nathan together. And then they made a couple PC games, and then when they tried VR, they loved it. And they made Overboard, and they made this one secret game for a game jam. And that got them into some sort of Oculus event, where they eventually started working on Gods of Gravity. And with Gods of Gravity, instead of releasing it onto Steam like they did with Overboard, they released it for the Quest. And then Gods of Gravity was a game they worked on for the next 2.5 years. Actually, it might be more, I don't know. I can't remember the dates, but... And then they got to Yeeps, and Yeeps skyrocketed, it blew up so much, it was crazy. Yeepers Jeepers asks, what is your favorite game, and why? My favorite game is Hollow Knight. I love the game, it's my profile picture. I spent like 400 hours in that game. I love it so much, you should try it. The music is great, the visuals is great, the gameplay is so fun. Amazing game. Abyss asked, why did you want to become a mod in Yeeps? It's never like... So, at the very beginning, it was just because Gods of Gravity, I was modding, the devs made the same game, it's a lot of the same people, I love being around these people. So when I got asked to be Discord mod, of course I would, because it was the same community, and I love that community. And when they did game mod applications, same thing, it's just, I love the community at the time. Like, if I were to just reset on alt accounts, completely new person, I would probably not try to get mod. Because, well, first of all, it's really hard to get mod nowadays. And second of all, it would just be, starting fresh is just something I couldn't do. I love being around the people I get to be around, and I love the mod community, so I think it'd be a little bit too devastating for me. Okay. Bowie asks, how did you get where you are in the Yeeps community? So, I'm assuming they mean, like, my roles, because I'm not really that famous. Like I said earlier, every role I got as it came out, very first wave game mod, very first wave Discord mod. Originally, I was going to be the only role distributor. Very first wave of monitoring council. Same thing, very first wave of senior. And that's just because I happened to be here early enough, and I happened to get... I just happened to be good enough for the standards back then. Like I said earlier, I probably could never get mod if I had to go an alt account. And that's... Like, I know every tip I could possibly have. So, like, I could tell you so many things. Like, I know every part of the process. But I probably wouldn't be able to do it if that makes sense. In terms of my slight amount of fame, Moonteam, that's how. Alright, thanks everyone for watching this video. If you have more questions, drop them in the comments. I will be trying to upload this as soon as I can. And, yeah. See you later.